And now the man who allegedly pulled the trigger is spending the night in jail. CBS 4's Gabby Fleischman has the story. To the crisis in Syria now, and that country's president saying he had nothing to do with a chemical weapons attack that killed hundreds of people outside Damascus. As CBS 4's Allison Harmelin tells us, President al-Assad's words come as the White House tries to convince Congress that the Syrian government must be held accountable. After months of anticipation, the wait is finally over. Today, the Dolphins took the field to kick off their season in Cleveland, but it was not without its ups and downs. CBS 4 sports anchor Jim Berry is live in the studio to tell us what the end result was. Jim? Near Boca Raton this weekend, alleged road rage and gunfire. Police say a car cut off an off-duty Homeland Security agent on Glades Road. The agent, who was with his wife and their 3 kids, followed that car to a nearby parking lot where he and his wife tried to confront the driver. Police say that driver then sped off, nearly striking the agent's wife and the agent, who discharged his weapon at the fleeing vehicle. The car later returned to the scene of the shooting on Glades Road, where detectives say the driver cooperated with their investigation into how this whole mess started. Still ahead on this late-night edition of CBS 4 News, death in the water. A family gathering turning tragic today. What family members say slowed down the emergency response. A family in mourning after a man drowned in a neighborhood lake on Sunday. CBS 4's Maggie Newland has our story. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, that you're behind the wheel of your car, barreling down I-95, and suddenly you have to pull off into the median because there's a problem. And you're a little worried that you might get smashed into as you get out to investigate. Well, that's why the FDOT Road Rangers are out on patrol to help. CBS 4 morning traffic anchor Vanessa Borge spent a day on the road with the Road Rangers. Wrestling has returned to the Olympic lineup. The International Olympic Organizing Committee has voted to add wrestling to the 2020 Summer Games in Tokyo. The IOC admitted it was a huge mistake to axe wrestling earlier this year, along with several other sports, following the 2016 Games in Rio. The committee said it made the decision to keep wrestling to ensure the Olympic Games remain relevant to sports fans of all generations. It was hot in Cleveland today. The Dolphins with a strong second half.
Yes, they did. It was only about 70 degrees, but the Dolphins played some hot football. I guess that's what you mean. There you go. Yep.
Coming up Monday night on Under the Dome, the manhunt for Barbie continues. Big Jim gets the residents of Chester's Mill all riled up, and the town demands justice for all of Barbie's supposed crimes. Here's a sneak peek of what you'll see. Remember, you can catch Under the Dome, the hot new CBS show, right here on CBS 4, starting at 10 o'clock. Now, the special story of a photography exhibition by twin brothers called Art is Homeless. The brothers are from Coral Reef Senior High School, and they went all over South Florida capturing images of homeless people. Are you a mega football fan? If so, it could cost you mega bucks. NFL marketing reports say the average price for season ticket holders per game is about $82, Natalia. That's a 3% hike from last year. Other costs that may tackle your wallet: parking at $30 and a beer for $7. Of the 32 NFL teams, however, 17 either left their prices alone or dropped them.
$82 a pop on average, $30 for parking. What do you need to get a raise just
Sounds
to
like
go
a
to
conversation with my mom and dad. Oh, everything is getting so expensive.
News.
Now on CBS 4 News tonight, a South Florida family in mourning following a deadly church van accident. This evening, new details surrounding the crash. We have just learned tonight that 2 more people have died as a result of that accident. It was a dangerous day on the water. A yacht caught fire while there were 2 people aboard. We have videotape shot of the flames. Fire crews able to put this blaze out. It was on Indian Creek at 68th Street in Miami Beach. Investigators say it appears this fire started in the ship's engine compartment. The 2 people aboard were treated for minor injuries. Changing gears now to our hometown team, the Miami Dolphins. This picture was posted on the team's Instagram account saying, "Landed back in Miami 2-0. Hashtag it is our time." CBS 4 sports anchor Jim Berry joining us now with more on what was a very close game, Jim.
That's right.
A wave of attacks killed at least 58 people across Iraq today. The attacks, which include a wave of car bombings, mostly targeted Shiite majority cities. The deadliest attack occurred in the city of Hilou, 60 miles south of Baghdad. A car bomb exploded near an outdoor market there, killing 9 people and wounding 15 others. So far, no group has claimed responsibility for the attacks. Investigators in the Florida Panhandle are trying to figure out what caused an explosion outside a home in Destin last night. One man was killed, another remains hospitalized in critical condition this evening. The sheriff there says it appears to be a freak accident involving some construction gear. Those who lived nearby first thought that something terrible had happened at nearby Eglin Air Force Base when they heard and felt the blast. The state fire marshal is heading up the investigation, which tonight is focusing on acetylene torches that were rented to do work on the house. A sinkhole has once again forced families from their homes in central Florida. 5 families had to leave their apartments in Mount Dora this weekend because the earth was giving way. One resident said the floor was caving in and that the walls in his unit were buckling. Yellow tape surrounds the building, while red signs warn of an unsafe structure. Eye on the storm, Colorado now. More than 1,000 people missing following days of flooding there. Because cell phone service is out, a lot of people just can't be reached. 4 people are confirmed dead, but that number is expected to rise once search and rescue teams reach areas that have been cut off. More rain is threatening to complicate rescue efforts out there. Now to the crisis in Syria. A Syrian government leader said the country will comply with the diplomatic deal struck by the United States and Russia. The deal would get rid of Syria's chemical weapons by mid-2014. Today, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry went to Israel to discuss the latest developments with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The deal is aimed at avoiding U.S. military action. But Kerry has made it very clear that if Syria does not comply, the U.S. will act. Stay with CBS 4 News on the air and online at cbsmiami.com for all the latest developments in the crisis with Syria. Let's head out west right now. More bad weather is hampering search and rescue efforts in Colorado. Washed out roads like this one here are making it all the more dangerous. The National Guard has rescued more than 2,000 people, but there are still hundreds of people who are unaccounted for after days of historic flooding. CBS 4's Adriana Diaz reports. It's time now for the latest edition of Taste of the Town. A modern twist on classic Italian food and ambiance is the name of the game at Dolce Italian on South Beach. And from delicious Italian food to something big happening in Italy right now. Live pictures from Giglio, Italy, where the sun is coming up. It's about 6:45 in the morning there. Crews from the Pompano Beach, Florida-based company Titan Salvage have won the contract to attempt to refloat the disabled Costa Concordia cruise ship.